Hello, beautiful people. My name is Christian Casimiro. I am 22 years old, and for a 22-year-old, I've encountered a lot of difficulties in my life. A lot of difficulties that a 22-year-old shouldn't endure. When I was 18 years old, I decided to drop out of college and basically confront life, grab life by the fucking horns, and choose to live life my own way. Ever since I was a child, I felt like I was in a prison. I felt like I had a lot of limiting beliefs and people didn't believe in me. There was a few people that did believe in me, but negativity always has a little bit more effect in you as a child. And for me, I always wanted to not be average. I always wanted to be free. And when I turned 18, when I turned 18, I always told myself, when I turn 18, I'm going to drop out and I'm going to start my own business. I am going to move out and I'm just going to get a job and get that income from that job and invest it into my own business. Well, long story short, I turned 18, I dropped out. My parents were devastated. They were like, "What are you doing? We didn't raise you this way." But in the back of my mind, it's like I've always wanted to be, doing this thing that I'm doing, which is following my dreams. I've always been this way. You just didn't know. And I ended up getting a job in a restaurant as a runner. And I used that fund from that job, that income, and I invested it into stocks, I used to do a lot of Forex, so like a lot of day trading. And then I transitioned into fucking meme coins. I don't know if you remember those. I'm not sure if they're still around, but the point is that I lost all my money. I lost everything. I lost even the will to do business. I've put this business, this money getting in a pedestal. And what resulted was that I was paying too much attention into getting rich, into making money right now, instead of focusing on the long run. So what put me down was that I grabbed the income from my job and I invested it into Forex, into trading, into mentorships, and nothing ever worked out. But deep down within me, even though people looked at me crazy, they're like, "What are you doing? You should save your money, like you're crazy." Deep down, I knew that I was in the right direction because my mindset was, I don't care anymore about the money, because it came to a point where I was losing so much. And I want to tell you this, I wasn't failing, because I believe when you fail, it's only when you quit. But I never quit. 2 years went by of straightforward losing money, getting money here, and then investing it into myself. And along the process, I was building a skill set for myself that today pays me a lot of money, and I also help other people with my skill set in teaching it. But the point is that I burned all of the boats. I said, I don't care if I end up homeless. I don't care if I end up in the street, because all I care about is being true to myself. I don't care about satisfying the needs of other people. I don't care if you like me or not. I don't care if you even hate me, because for me, the most important thing was my inner self. It was the dreams of my past child. It was the inner child that I wanted to basically fulfill his dreams. And it was a very, very, how do you say this? It was hard, okay? It was difficult. It was painful. It was straight up suffering. It felt like hell, okay? I don't know how to describe this, but if you've been at rock bottom, if you felt this before, you relate to this, where you feel like a fire burning inside of you and it stings you. It's like pressure that you try to move forward and it just like pushes you back and it burns you. And I had that in me, you know? So, what was I gonna say? Yeah, that I endure all of that. And for a long time, I thought that this suffering, this pain was bad. And I was like, when I make the money, this is gonna go away. When I become rich, when I get clients, this burning sensation of pain is gonna go away. And I started getting clients, I started making some money here, but that fire never went away. You know, that pain never went away. But something I noticed, bro, is that the problems that used to affect me, like let's say at 19, 20, when I turned 21, now that I'm 22, those problems, I just laugh at those problems because they are so little compared to the problems that I have right now. But the secret that I want to show you, that I want to tell you and reveal to you, is that, let's say, I want to add some context first so that you can understand this, because if I just tell you, you're going to think I'm just crazy, or, you know, people are going to call you crazy if you tell this to other people. But basically, life is pain and suffering, but it's also pleasure, it's also happiness, and it's also butterflies and rainbows, but it's also rain, you know? So I use this example of going to the gym. You know, you go to the gym, you lift some weights, and it starts to hurt, you know? In month one, that burning sensation you feel in your muscles, it sucks. You're like, what is this? I should probably quit. I should probably eat Burger King and, you know, just sit on my couch and scroll. That's what your brain tells you. But after pushing through that, you know, period of pain and time, let's say in month 3, you start to enjoy the pain. You start to enjoy that burning sensation. And now you're going towards failure. Why? Because you know that that burning sensation, that pain you feel in your muscles, is just gonna make you stronger. Your muscles are gonna get stronger, they're gonna get bigger, you're gonna look better, and your life is gonna get better, right? So you sacrifice your present moment and you endure that pain, you endure that suffering for a greater reward, like further in the future. And that's what I had to understand. Instead of focusing on the short term, I started focusing on the long term. Because if you just focus on the short term, when it starts to hurt, you're gonna give up. You're gonna question yourself. You're not gonna believe in yourself. And this thing is not about manifestation. This philosophy is not about, thinking that you're strong and I'm gonna tell myself that I'm capable, and I'm gonna tell myself every day when I sleep, before I sleep, that I'm positive, I'm strong, this. No, it's not about telling yourself, it's about knowing. It's about feeling and believing that you are that person. So you can't believe that your muscles are big if you're like skinny, you know? You either have muscles or you don't. It's the same thing with life. You're either strong or you're not. Either you're weak or strong. And these problems that you endure every single day, these difficulties, these painful moments, whether it's in relationships or it's about income or your family, these things are there just like a workout in the gym. They're there to make you stronger. And the only way you become stronger is by finishing the workout. It's by finishing that situation. It's by enduring that pain. It's by enduring that suffering and pushing through. Okay, that's the only way that, for me, I switched my mindset. Basically from, like, life is suffering, I don't want to suffer no more, to now being like, okay, life is suffering, I accept it. Life is painful, I accept it. But guess what? I'm stronger. I'm strong. And this is just gonna build my character. I'm here for the long term. I'm here for where I'm in my deathbed and I'm looking back at my life and I'm saying, I'm proud of you, Christian. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of everything that you've done. And I'm only going to get to that situation, that positive outcome, the good ending, only if I endure the pain, only if I don't cower away from difficult problems and situations, because basically I'm not a bitch, and that's just straightforward. Like, I'm just talking my heart out to you. Like, just stop being a little bitch, endure the pain, and then guess what? 1 week later, 2 months later, however long it takes, that problem, that difficulty you're feeling right now, you're gonna laugh at it. You're gonna be like, bro, that pain, that problem used to torment me, that problem used to put me down. Bro, this is nothing compared to what I'm dealing with right now. But guess what? It's not how big the problem is, because you're always gonna have problems, okay? It's not about erasing the problems. It's about you. It's about knowing that you can endure any single problem. And that's how you fight back at life, okay? So that's all I wanted to say right now. Basically, if you're in that position where, life is difficult, follow me on Instagram, message me if you want any advice, if you want to talk there, just message me and I'll respond back. I don't have like any setters or people in my Instagram. It's just me. It's, I'm the one messaging you back. And also, if you just want to be like, I want to learn how to make some money, because I also teach that. Because first it's the mind, right? If your mind is right, then you can make the money. Then you can get the girl. Then you can get your family together. Then you can get the car, because your mind is right. And your mind just life reflects what your mind thinks about. It's just a mirror. If you don't like the mirror, then it's not the mirror's fault. It's your fault, because the mirror is just honest. It just reflects back what it sees. Anyways, I have a free school community as well. If you want to learn how to, get rev shares from businesses, it's something I do, but just join. It's entirely for free. I also can help you with the financial side. But with that aside, I truly do wish you the best, and subscribe, like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.